I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Sparky.
Salty.
Salty. Shout out to the big homie, JT. You know who you are, my man.
Yep.
Shout out to the big homie, Solomon Kane.
Yeah. You also know who you are.
We're pretty busy. We're pretty busy today.
I know.
Shout out to all the black metal people for not like crucifying us over the Mayhem song.
I didn't even look at the comments.
It's all right.
I didn't want people to be too mad at me. I was like, I can't see it. I can't help feeling mad at me.
Yeah, I thought people were gonna like damn us into the ninth circle.
I asked Solomon, I'm like, were you mad at me? Tell me the truth.
What did he say?
He said, no, why would he be mad at you?
Oh.
I was like, because I didn't like your Mayhem band.
Yeah. I actually had a pretty deep philosophical discussion with one of our villagers.
One of the big homies.
One of the big homies, and we talked about the correlation between Satanism and the quality of music in black metal.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
Solomon was saying it was on purpose, like that Mayhem is supposed to be.
That's what I said.
Like, yeah,
like it's anti.
Yeah, anti everything.
Anti everything.
He said their point was to be, oh gosh, I wish I could remember the two words. One of them was ugly and, I don't know if it was ugly and dysfunctional. And I was like, it was such a weird statement because obviously I'm a girl, so like a girl. Like, we always try to be, like, beautiful and put together.
You don't try to be
and
beautiful.
So,
you're just beautiful, period.
Well, I don't think...
Point?
Yeah, of course. I don't think that any girl intentionally tries to be ugly. And he said that this band intentionally tries to be ugly.
I've met girls that intentionally tried to...
Be ugly?
Be ugly. For sure.
But what's the point? You mean because they don't want the attention?
All right, so this is Black Sabbath. But before we do Black Sabbath, we always do Where in the World is a Village?
Uh-huh.
And I'm very excited.
Another Viking-looking character.
Another Viking, another Norseman.
Yep.
This is the big homie Tomas from Germany / Bavaria.
Yep.
So Tomas has been like, he's been like a loyal, pretty groundwork laying villager.
Absolutely.
He's done a lot for us, so we appreciate you. And when I say us, I mean all of us. Mm-hmm. Because the road to full time is a high hill. Mm-hmm. You know, like somebody asked us, they're like, "How come you guys don't do any of the stops? How do you avoid the copyrights?"
Yeah, during the songs. Yeah,
we don't.
We don't avoid the copyrights.
As a matter of fact, the way that we know that an upload works.
Get a copyright claim.
That's how we know the upload works.
Like, yes, copyright claim.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else will be like, fuck, copyright claim.
Yeah, that's how we know it works, is when we see the little copyright thing pops up.
Yep.
And it says, and it's always YouTube. They're always so nice. They go, don't worry, nothing will happen to you. Like, we know.
You're just not going to get any money.
Oh, yeah. We're benefiting exponentially. So if you want to support us on Patreon, it's $1. It's you can start at $1.
Yeah, you know what's weird, though? I heard... Like, you know how you watch different YouTube videos on how to YouTube and stuff?
Yeah.
And then, like, it always seemed like people were saying, you don't really make much money off YouTube, you don't really make much money. But, like, there are a few of our songs that, even though we haven't cut it up, haven't gotten copyright claims.
Right, or a fireside chat.
I thought we were going to get pennies per film, but it's not really like that. I mean, you're not making a living off it.
Well, yeah, as soon as you saw it, you were like, that's why
I said, now it makes sense. Why?
Losing literally thousands of dollars. It's a big gamble, though, like to say, that's all right, our people will support us.
Yeah.
You're literally setting thousands of dollars on fire. And if those people...
But even still, like, I think that I would rather, like, let's say we couldn't go full time, couldn't really, like, sustain an income off this, I would just cut it down and do, like, a few videos, like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 a week, because I enjoy doing it, but just say, this isn't our job, we can't, you know what I mean, rather than breaking them up, because I still don't want to break up the songs.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I'd rather not do it, period, than break it up. I agree with that. But anyway, we're getting off topic. This is Thomas. This is Tomas. I'm saying Tomas because he's German. I don't even know if that has...
Oh, yeah, the big homie's still here.
He's right
His
there.
wife, him and his wife, I guess, went out and took this picture in a field.
Walking around the Sori secret shirt.
Yeah, in the forest. I'm like, that's so cute. I'm so glad that they went out and did that.
It's very villagey.
Yeah, it was. I
People
thought
hanging out in the forest in Jella. Okay, so this is Black Sabbath by the band Black Sabbath. We're pretty... I'm actually pretty excited about this. So this is the end of Black Metal Week. Yeah. So we got this, and then we've got the black metal song we're going to do later on tonight. So this is Black Sabbath. So here we go.
Oh, okay. Let's get those headphones in.
The only other song we listened to these guys was War Pigs, so it should be interesting.
Okay. Go.
Full screen. Why is it so difficult?
Because I'm trying to decide if I want to turn the volume up.
You can still do that.
Where? Volume. Somebody's in trouble.
What is this that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me. Turn around quick and start to run. Find out I'm the chosen one. Oh no! Big black shape with eyes of fire. Telling people their desire. Satan sitting there, he's smiling. Watches those flames get higher and higher. Oh no, no, please God help me. To the end, my friend. people better go and beware. No, no, please, no.
Well, that was interesting.
Metallica has those dun da 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 da, and you think it's over, and then it goes dun.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
It's like at the movies when you watch and then all of a sudden they have that little end thing. That little end video.
Okay, so this was Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
I hated the vocals when they first started. I was like, ugh. But then I started liking them. And then I started craving them toward the end. Come on, sing some more. Sing some more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it was like they were like this. This is like, it's interesting because it's been black metal week, so it's like, of all the black metal songs we've listened to throughout the week, Satan is never like actually named. Like he gets alluded to or whatever, but he's not here. He like comes out and says
Yeah.
Satan.
Yeah.
And remember that guy that,
Yeah.
and he had that night terror,
Yes.
and he woke up and he saw that black figure
Yep.
at his bed.
Yep.
That's a very common phenomena, the black shadowy figure.
Yep.
We were just talking about that a couple days ago.
We were.
So it's like figure in black which points at me. Like this has been like a thing in human
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
where people are talking about this
Black shadow.
black
figure.
shadowy figure
Yeah.
who, comes in at people,
Yep.
at night.
Yeah, a lot of time brings a
I have
lot
a
of
cold,
terror.
so I don't know what to tell you.
Bless you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever
Seen that?
seen one of those things at night or whatever.
Or anytime?
I remember talking to a pastor guy one time, and he told me that he was doing some. Very
Bless
sorry,
you.
guys. Told me he was doing some pretty crazy stuff. He was messing around with some crazy stuff, and then
Yeah.
he saw a couple, but it was like in the daytime in his house, and it like made him like turn around and like
What was he messing around with?
stuff.
Like satanic stuff or bad sexual
No, it was
stuff?
just he was just doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing, basically. And then he
Was it
saw-
stuff that you would say to yourself, well, I mean, that makes sense, that happened? Or
Well,
was it
yeah,
like
I mean, it was like, yeah.
he didn't have his hand in the cookie jar? It was more intense.
He shouldn't have been doing that stuff.
Ugh.
But
2 of them?
I think he said 3.
Yikes!
But yeah, they were in his house. And like,
But that kind of situation, you kind of wonder, like, was that God or was that the devil? It turned him from his path, you know what I mean?
well, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Inshallah. Did it turn him from his path?
well, yeah. I mean, he became a
That's what I'm
pastor after
saying.
that. I mean,
I'm saying, like,
so
or is this one of those things where the devil didn't think it through?
well, I mean, the devil never thinks anything through. But
I mean, some of his tactics work.
I definitely
fine.
see like a lot of like the black metal spiritual talking about dark shit. Although this is different because he's asking God to help him.
Yeah.
Whereas in black metal, God, it's not. You're asking for more demonic shit to happen to you.
Well, the flames were already getting higher and higher by the time this person calls out to God. When he called out for
Well, I
help,
don't know.
it
I don't-
sounded like it was too late.
Well, he said, "Oh no" at the beginning, so it's like a lot of times, "Oh no," in my opinion, counts as calling out to God.
Well, he
'Cause who are
said,
you saying, "Oh, no" to?
Oh, please no. Oh.
Well, find out I'm the chosen one. He finds out he's the chosen one. You know, the devil's looking at him or whatever. Like, ooh, it's really interesting. Like when God chooses you versus when the devil chooses you. Like in certain people's like mindsets. You know, but like I've had a lot of people. I'm sure there's lots of people in the village that have had some pretty esoteric supernatural experiences that they probably won't talk about because we're now too sophisticated.
Yeah. I think that's why sometimes when we do the fireside chats, somebody, people will bring up, have you ever seen supernatural things? Have you know,
yeah.
And
I generally don't talk about that.
Right. Exactly.
I generally don't talk about that
Most
stuff.
people kind of want to stick away from it. I don't think that we should never have a discussion about it, though, an open discussion on the topic. I just think that I would just want to be careful that it doesn't turn into this glorifying Satan
orgy of
situation.
darkness.
Exactly.
Hey, well, this happened to me.
I saw this.
Fucking with the Ouija board and
Right.
blah, 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 blah. Like,
Right.
I've had some pretty interesting experiences. And of course, like, I'm sure a lot of our atheist friends have had experiences too, but because you can't put it in a certain category, you're just going to say that you had too much to drink that night or whatever it is that people do to, like, it's in the earliest literature in human history.
Yeah.
Stuff. And it's 2018 and people are still having these experiences. And it's like, where do you put these? Like,
Right.
There's a reason that songs like this are that's the thing that gets me about, like, I get modernism, I get the Enlightenment, okay, everybody's smart now, we have science and blah, 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 but it's like, do you honestly believe that we, in 2018, we've figured everything out and we know everything there is to know about the universe? So it's like this, like, intensely, amazingly arrogant mindset that people have that it's just unbelievable to me. Like, I'm listening to this thing on history, this hardcore history thing, and of course, here we are in 2018, but they're talking about 1918. It's like 100 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it's like they were talking about modernity and how war has to change because we're in the modern era. It's like, it's 1918. There's so many, like, advances that have happened that they couldn't even
Since then, yeah.
have conceived of, but they thought that they were modern. You know, like, just certain
Every generation does.
arrogance that comes with immediacy that you think that here we are. So now we're beyond all the shit that, like, we've got ancient, wisdom where, look, this phenomena at some level is real to some degree, somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Yep.
To me, it's like, okay, if I have all these, like, corroborating witnesses that say this, it's no longer like, is this real? But now it's like, okay, what is it? And you can still have your naturalistic explanation for this stuff if you want. Like, you can say whatever you want about it. You can come up with some crazy, naturalistic explanation. We have our own explanations, but lyrically, this doesn't really go very far.
No, I don't think so either.
I like the end with the riff, like I definitely see. Okay, like, this is where, like, metal got its origins from. Like, this is like the template for what metal is between this and Led Zeppelin. We got to do some Led Zeppelin, then.
Yeah.
You got to do some Led Zeppelin, but
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear Ozzy Osbourne too.
part of me feels like
What?
people should, in the comments section, like, share if you've had one of these issues. But I don't, like, not to glorify it, but just to say, yeah, I've had this.
I mean, you want them telling the story, or you want them to just say, I had an experience?
Oh, tell the story. I mean,
Ooh,
Go for
shit's
it.
about to get real.
I don't know. Everybody might say, you guys are dumb. This never happened to me.
That is not going to happen. Come on, we have had enough experiences with enough people, and there's thousands of people in this forum.
This is interesting, though. Is this the end, my friend? Satan's coming around the bend. People are running because they're scared. This is the idea that, like, it's a very, like, actually comical picture to me. Satan's coming around the bend, so it's like,
Oh, I know.
like,
You remember that song? She'll be coming around the mountain
Right.
when she goes.
yeah, I think it's Mountain, right? Okay.
Yes,
I thought it was
that's
Corner, but yeah.
That's that is exactly what I
So,
thought.
like,
it
he's like coming around the bend, like, he's just, like, running in the street, scaring people, like,
Yeah.
people are being terrorized.
Yeah.
Like,
I
by
know.
the devil, like, I don't know.
Riding 6 white horses when she comes. That's all I could think
were
of.
you ever afraid of the devil? like I've noticed that like there's been a couple like people have like these misconceptions that like Christians are afraid of the devil.
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever been afraid
No,
of the
we
devil.
used to sing this song, I'm gonna beat up the devil black and blue, something like that. Like I always felt like that we were stronger than
like
the
you
devil.
came from sort of like a Pentecostal sort of like
Yeah, you tell him to get up out of there, you know?
right, like binding the
get out
devil
of there.
and telling him to get
Rebuke
out.
you in
like,
the name of Jesus.
right,
stuff like that.
Yeah, like you.
It always worked too. Like I've been in multiple situations where that was the case,
we've been
and
in
like some crazy ass shit was going on, and like
we've been in some pretty hairy situations, and then
you say some of those things, like and
yeah. That's the thing. It's like being a Christian, like this type of Christian, is very fun.
I know. I'm not gonna lie.
So you end up with some like really interesting situations, but I think it's a very interesting like perspective of like the devil as this sort of like half divine being that we're scared of and that God like barely defeats. You know, and you know, as the passage, I think it's in Luke where Jesus said, you know, I've given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall harm you. Mm-hmm. Like, that was always my perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I was never scared of the devil. I was terrified of the Antichrist, though. It's interesting. Oh, well, I thought I was going to get left behind in the rapture.
Oh.
So like the Antichrist is this figure that like has like almost absolute power. He's uncontested. Nobody could fuck with him.
I think there was always like a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, what if I get left behind? But I think that 98% of me was like, am I getting left behind?
Yeah, you thought you were such a good person.
And I have done enough.
Yeah. I knew I sucked as a person when I was 8 years old. So I'm like, there's no reason for God to take. I had a dream one time that He called all my friends. Because that's how
just
like it
left
happened.
you standing there?
He called all, and then like boom, your friend would disappear.
Oh.
Tyler Aldrich, boom, your friend would disappear, and then like I was waiting for him. There I was, and there was no like Vin, come up here. There's none of that. It was just very quiet, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, that's why I just said fuck. That's why.
I didn't see where you just. Did you just add that in?
No.
You just added that in.
So I was scared to death of the Antichrist. I wasn't scared of the devil at all, which is really interesting because even though you thought you were not going to be around when the Antichrist was around, didn't the Antichrist almost get spoken of as like almost this omnipotent being? Like nobody could touch him. He'd chop everybody's heads off.
I think it did, but I never.
But you never cared because you're never going to have to deal with it.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah. The devil, like you.
And I felt like he was I felt like that he was like a pseudo
Jesus.
Yeah, because I felt like he you can't really do everything that you're saying you can. You know, he's gonna rise from the dead supposedly, and you know, but then everything was just gonna.
No,
I don't know.
Antichrist is way more terrorizing than you than the devil. The devil was just somebody like that you just beat up and smacked around and made fun of.
I think I was more afraid of like demons.
You were afraid of demons, but not the devil.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I was never afraid of demons. I was just afraid of the Antichrist. But the demons, because I felt like...
I always felt like they were going to do something sideways, though. Like...
Yeah, Pentecostals, like, you kind of grew up with this sort of superstitious, like...
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, you know, like, I don't want to pray too loud because then the demon will hear me?
Oh, yeah. You couldn't say it out loud. Don't say your fears out loud. That's what it was. You couldn't say what you were afraid of, because if you did, then the devil would use that against you. So you always had to say, Lord... And then pray in your head.
I remember somebody said that. I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "This is a stupid."
I'm pretty sure we had the conversation, and you made that face, and I was like,
"That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life."
What did you say? You said something that was very logical about it.
I said, "Well, they've been studying human nature for the past
that's what it was. Yeah." So you were like, they don't have to read your mind.
They don't have to read your mind. They can pretty much, you know.
They know your weaknesses.
I can pretty much tell a person within the first 5 minutes what they're.
Could you tell me?
Oh, what do you think?
You did? Say a lie.
Well, I did. Oh, well, I mean, I just assumed that about 98% of the female population anyway. So yeah, lyrically the song doesn't really go anywhere, although it's interesting because I could see how it's like the roots of black metal to some degree, although I've never heard anybody say that. But he's like touching on like black satanic themes, although it's a little bit different because he's asking God to help him. See what I'm saying? But I could see how like this was like and the music was was very, very dark. It wasn't very like rhythmic, but it was very dark and entrancing in a bad way.
Slow.
Like I could see parents who've never heard this music. I mean, 1970. I could see parents who've never heard this music, didn't have a category for all this. If your kid's listening to this, I could see like parents like freaking out, being like
snapping the CD.
What are you talking
taking
about?
Taking the case.
But it's just so like ominous and like this is shit 1970. Come on, it's like 40 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
Am I doing my math right? Like close to 40 years ago, you know, like, and your kid is talking about the devil and the chord progression is just very ominous and scary and low and yikes. I didn't like this song as much as I liked War Pigs though.
Yeah,
I liked War Pigs a lot more.
Okay.
This is a 6.3 for me.
Yeah, it was about that.
6.3, but I'm giving it props because it was before its time.
I was going between a 6 and a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, 6.3.
I mean, I started out with like a 3 because I didn't like the vocals and it was so slow. I was like, oh no, another one of these. But then I kind of started like, I was able to jump on the wagon with it.
I feel like it would probably get to like a 7.4 for me if I listened to it like 2 more times after I slept on it. But I'm not sleeping on it, I'm listening into it now. So it's a 6.3, plus I have a cold.
I'll take care of you.
Inshallah. Alright. So 6.3, what do you got for you?
I'm gonna go with the same thing. I was between a 6 and a 7, but
stay tuned.
okay, I'll give it 6.5. Not that matters.
Stay tuned because of the last show in Black Fire Week or Black Metal Week. Doesn't mean we're not going to do many black metal shows, but I wanted to catch up and do a bunch of black metal, so there you are.
Look, Vinny got a haircut. It looks nice, huh?
Yeah, right. That's not what you said to me.
I just said I wanted you to even out your beard.
Why don't you even out your beard, you
That's
scummy
because
freak?
right before he got out, I said, please let them even out your beard. He goes, I'm not answering that.
You didn't say that.
What did I say?
You said, do they even out your beard? You asked it as a question. Because you never...
Are you gonna even out your beard?
Are you going to? And I said, no, not particularly.
I said, even it out. I like it when it's neat. And then he made that face, and off he went. And then he came back with it all crooked.
That's solidified. I told him, I said, make sure you make it crooked. Make it as crooked as you possibly fucking can, D.
You probably did, because you came back one time, it was all neat, and I couldn't keep my lips off you.
Yeah. Alright. Well, now we know that I get love, conditional love from Sori.
Yeah.
Depending on how good my haircut is.
Yep.
Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Yeah, look at you laughing.
It's not true.
If I'd have done that with you,
And you know it's completely true.
I'd have had some SJW riding in to save you. Oh,
That's
my
because
God,
they all know
Sori,
it's
you're
obviously not
beautiful
true.
No matter what, don't let him tell you that, and he's not gonna kiss you. I'll kiss you. It's always some dude that wants to rescue you from me.
From you?
Yeah. I'm sure, all for good reason and good motives. It was hilarious. Remember that dude that posted all that crazy stuff?
Yeah.
This girl, Mandy gets on and she says, "Shut the fuck up."
Oh my god.
It was so hilarious. She named the guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but she was like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, yes, here's a woman.
Oh, we shouldn't encourage it. Okay.
Yeah, no, if you see somebody being stupid, saying really dumb shit, tell them to shut the fuck up. No, I should say. All right. So she's only gonna kiss me if I my
You're
beard.
such a liar. You
My
even
beard
know
is-
that's not true.
My beard is properly
I was
symmetrical.
asking. Never mind. I won't.
Do y'all know how I got this cold? I'm not gonna tell y'all how I got this cold, okay?
Oh my, it was so- it was so hot.
This is like some Black Knight shit, some hero shit. Chivalry.
Should we tell them on the next show?
No, they don't want to know. Believe me.
Oh,
Been out
and it was
again.
hot.
They don't want to know. Gone.